Google Drive makes it pretty easy to download files and folders that you can then use on your computer or upload to other web-based storage services. There's really no need to do this as a backup since Google Drive itself is pretty redundant. But if you ever see your Google account being deactivated, let's say you're leaving the job that uses Google Drive, then you may want to download your files or folders for use later on. The way to do that is pretty simple. Just log into your Google Drive account and then find the files or folders that you want to download. I tend to organize my files by folder, and so I've got a number of folders that are listed here. And I think if I were to download my files and folders as a backup, I would be tempted to download each folder one at a time. What Google will do when I choose to download this is to create a zip file, a compressed file that takes up less space. And I think I would probably want one zip file for each individual folder. So if I select a folder, let's say I'm going to do my Hour of Code folder here. If I right-click it, or on a trackpad click with 2 fingers, one of the options is download. If I click download, Google will then prepare the download by zipping any of the files that are inside that folder together and bring that zip file down to my computer. If you don't have folders, or if you want to download different files instead of just a folder, then there are 2 ways you can do that. One is to make your selection of separate files by holding down the Command key on your keyboard. So if you don't want all of the files that are listed, hold down Command and just single click each of the files that you do want to download. I have my thumb on the Command key as I'm checking each of these by clicking them with my trackpad or mouse button. Once you have everything selected, then just right-click or, again, 2-finger tap any one of those highlighted files, click Download, and Google will then, again, compress those selected files into a single zip file that will be downloaded to your computer. Finally, if you want to make a selection of a lot of files that all are in a row together, that are all sequential, all you have to do is to click the first file on the list, scroll down and find the last file that you want, and hold down the Shift key on your keyboard and click it once. It will then select everything. Just click somewhere in the selection, again click Download, and once more you will get a zip file with all of those selected files. Now obviously the more files you put into a zip file, the larger that zip file is going to be. And if you include any fairly large files in there, the zip file will also be bigger. So it may be advisable to try to avoid putting video files into your zips, or if you need them, download them separately. So what I might do here is to select these files, leave out the video, create a zip, and then continue on down the list. Or, like I did a minute ago, make my selection by holding down Command and just select everything on either side of that video and then download it. In either case, what you'll end up with is a zip file or a series of zip files on your computer. Those can then be opened back up, decompressed, and you can access all of the individual files that are in those archives. You can re-upload them to different file services. You can keep them on your computer and use them individually. But if you're just pulling down files to store for later use and don't have any immediate plans to open them up, I would keep them in that zip format because it just takes up less space on your computer.